Okay, hi everyone. My name is Josefina. Many of you probably already know me because of MDDI. And well, I'm the programs lead at the foundation, and we are really thrilled to have you all here today for this info session of the awards. So the Fab City Awards this year are focused in recognizing sustainable practices for regenerative futures. And we will go over it like today we will try to go over every step of it, and the idea is to generate a Q&A at the end. And I will pass the mic to Natalia. She is the ecosystem assistant, and we'll start the presentation.
Great. Hello, everyone. Nice meeting you. So you probably know Jose, but you don't know me, I think. Maybe some of you. I just joined recently, but very happy to be here. Sorry, I'll be admitting some people that are still joining. Hello, everyone who's just joined. Yeah, okay, so we know that things about the awards can be a little bit confusing, so we just wanted to kind of like clarify all the questions that you might have and tell you a little bit more about the awards, and really strongly encourage you to apply, as we perceive this awards as a very, very important thing for the whole network, for the whole ecosystem. So just to start with, very simply, so what the awards are, right? Basically, it's like a first iteration of the international context. It's organized by Fab City Foundation, and we want to recognize all the best practices that advance the Fab City vision, which is, globally connected, locally productive cities, sustainable, regenerative, and self-sufficient living, of course. And the goals of these awards is basically to give visibility to the best practices inside of the Fab City network. We want to kind of showcase all the tangible impacts and how, well, measurable impacts as well in the real life, as well as we want to kind of like showcase replicable approaches, lessons learned from everyone that's doing great initiatives in this network, basically. And through this, we want to catalyze collaboration and new opportunities. How? Basically through showcase of all of these submissions. Later on, we believe that, as we become transparent with what everyone in the network is doing, we can start reaching out to each other, collaborate, and create a lot of new opportunities through that as well. So yeah, by doing so, we will really make the Fab City Global Network much more powerful again. So probably you're asking what the best practices are. This is a term that we decided basically to use. We consider best practice to be anything from public policy, its products and services, its projects, urban strategies as well. But it also includes like experiments, neighborhood transformation, and any other initiative. So if you're hesitant, if you're project or submission that you're thinking about is a best practice, these are some of the guidelines, but if there are questions around that later on, we can also discuss that. Right, so in these awards, we are really focusing, as I mentioned already before, on the real world and measurable impact. So we want to demonstrate the real world achievements and outcomes that your initiatives has accomplished, or best practices. And we want to highlight how your initiative contributes to the Fab City vision, right? In basically driving the positive transformation in urban and rural areas, and how do we create lasting impact through that as well. So when you're creating your application and your submissions, this would be the main thing to really think about. A bit about like who can participate. So we have this on a website. Once again, this might be a bit repetitive if you have already read the guidelines and if you have read the website, but just to make sure. So Fab Labs and makerspaces, of course, governments and policymakers, communities and citizens, education and research centers, industry and private companies as well, nonprofits and social enterprises, Fab City and other creative hubs, regional networks and associations, and other local actors. So if you belong to these and you're within the Fab City network, you can apply. Also, if you're outside, let's say, you can still apply, but the project needs to be like implemented or piloted in one of the Fab City networks. So in terms of eligibility criteria, one of them I just mentioned already. So important it is that the best practice is implemented already and it's not in the ideation phase. So this has to be, again, something that you can already prove the impact and how it has, affected people, and the kind of Kirsten has just joined. Right. Again, implemented in one of the 52 Fab City network localities. It has to be created in the year 2018 or later. So any other projects that were created before 2018 will not be eligible, and we will have to, unfortunately, not consider them. Then another criteria is that applicants based outside of Fab City network localities can participate. But again, the project must be implemented in a Fab City network member locality, right? Organizations and institutions and individuals can all join, but we can basically just submit free entries for the context per that individual, per that institution or organization. They also have to be represented by an applicant that is at least 18 years old, of course, and this is important. I will talk about this a bit later. The submission has to align with the Fab City Awards teams, right? And it has to demonstrate clear alignment with the Fab City vision. It has to, of course, adhere with the ethical standards and also be legally sound. And one important thing is that judges are allowed to submit their initiatives. So I see many of the judges actually present today. Really nice having you. Just to clarify this point, judges can submit, but they will not be judging their own submission. They will not be marking or collecting the points in any step of the way. Right, so words to Jose. She will tell you a little bit about our prizes for the awards.
Yes, thank you, Nat. So, well, as many of you already know, the first prize is 2 half scholarships of MDDI. MDDI is the Master in Design for Distributed Innovation. So for the ones that don't know about this program, it is a hybrid program, and it is an intersection of design, technology, communities to improve the interspecies well-being. And MDDI basically it connects a global community of chain makers with local innovators in order to address complex challenges. It combines online and in-person learning with our official notes, and it's a learning methodology to support innovators to gain social and technical skills needed to develop projects for positive impact in their own communities. So once again, this is a master program that its length is 10 months, and it launched the 2nd of October. We are granting, as I mentioned before, 2 50% scholarships in this case. And yeah, basically as the value itself of the complete master is 12,000 euros, with this 50% scholarship, it would be 6,000 euros. And if you have like in mind how this could be paid, basically we have a payment facility as well for this. We can go over that more in detail if you have questions. And then, yeah, I think that we can go over to the video that it is super like straightforward on the directors talking about it. I cannot hear it, Nat. I cannot hear the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure why that is.
Volume.
Actually, I have
The
a
same
volume.
industrialization
There, perfect. There.
for the last couple of centuries, it's actually going to compromise the future of life on Earth, right? So we really need to look very deeply on how to reconfigure the way we inhabit our planet.
We want to develop leaders, we want to develop change makers, and we want to create the space in which they can go on to change the face of the way we live.
Yes, I think I had the same, like some parts I have sound and others I didn't, but we
Oh,
will share
really?
with you, yeah, we will share with you this presentation and this video. So yeah, we will share it with all of you. We can go to the next prize, the second prize. It's the Fab City Full Stack Bootcamp. I think the ones, hi Shana, the ones that were in Bhutan, and maybe I think Alvaro, you did it. But yeah, basically the Fab City Full Stack Bootcamp is a learning experience that focus in the 7 layers of the full stack, and basically it gives tools and skills to the participant to gain and to generate a strategic implementation plan using the full stack as a framework. So we are granting 6 spots for the full stack bootcamp in this case, for 6 participants. And basically this is a 3 duration program, bootcamp, 2 hours per day. And this will be organized directly with the winners. So we don't have a pre-established date right now, but basically once we know the winners, we will coordinate it with them and with the ones that will implement the bootcamp. That will be Tomas Diez and probably Kate Armstrong and Tomas Vivanco as well. So we will coordinate that directly with the winners. But I think, yeah, it's a training program. And the third prize is the Distributed Innovation Workshops. This is the first year we launched the Distributed Innovation Workshops. It is they are workshops basically focused on innovation and sustainability. And as well, they give the participants knowledge and skills to address global challenges right now. And we have a list of experts that are really amazing. Like, for example, one of the workshops is delivered by Elizabeth Kenaf, that she's a faculty from MDDI and from NYU. Then we have other faculties that are doing these workshops. For example, one of them is Ronald Sistek. He is a distributed leader from Chile, and we have many other experts that I will share with you afterwards who they are. But basically, from this list of 8 workshops, the winners can choose which one they want to do, and we are granting 2 of these spots in the distributed innovation workshops. Again, these workshops, their length is 1 week, 1 intensive week, 3 hours per day, usually in the midday of Europe, so that people from Asia can connect and people from America can connect as well. And yeah, basically this is completely online. Unless you're in a node as well, we can deploy it locally in a node. For example, here we have Wolf connected, and he's officially part of the Hamburg node. And let's say the winner is in Hamburg, so he can implement this locally in Hamburg. If not, it could be online. And yeah, basically this is the first prize. And for any questions you have about specifically the prizes, you can contact me. I shared my email also at the beginning. I will share it again. But yeah, this is my focus.
Amazing. Thank you, Jose, for clarifying about this. Great. Okay, well, I think there are other like reasons to participate besides the prizes as well, which are, I think, really important to mention. And some of them is basically participating in the awards will help you elevate your initiatives with funding support. And what we mean by that is that by participating in the awards, it's just not about only the recognition, it's also about leveraging your dedication to secure the funding that you need for your projects. And this is basically by catching the eye of the founders, because you will, your projects will receive a lot of publicity basically. And for funding organizations and governmental bodies are, we think, much more likely to take notice of the initiatives that have earned recognition from the Fab City Awards. It's also about enhancing the credibility, because being shortlisted or winning the ads adds a strong layer of credibility to your projects as well, right? So when seeking funding, this stamp of approval from industry experts can significantly strengthen your case. And thirdly, it's about, developing a competitive pitch. So I know from my own experience being a designer working on different projects, sometimes it's really hard to come back to things that you have done and kind of put it all together and develop a pitch, right? Develop something that is easy to understand for others as well. So this is an opportunity to do that as well through the awards. So in terms of the process and the kind of the applications journey, right? So 1st of August, we have launched the awards. They were actually pre-launched at the Bhutan summit already, but 1st of August is a official opening. So we will share this presentation once again. So all these links that are in there, you can really use this applicant's journey. If you kind of get lost and don't know what's happening, there are all the links. Besides the websites, of course, here's the application guide, the form, which are probably the most important. So between the 1st and the 31st of August, this is the time to apply via the form that is on the website as well. The deadline is the 31st of August. So by then, everything needs to be submitted. Afterwards, we have, of course, the evaluating submissions period. And on the 18th of September, the winners will be announced, right? So we will say who won the 1st, 2nd, 3rd prize. We will do this online via basically launching on the website and contacting the people who won the awards as well. And by the 29th of September, we will need, maybe even a bit sooner, we will need the people who won the awards, mainly the MDDI actually, to confirm whether they will be attending. So it would be great if everyone who is submitting the projects already thought a little bit about, am I going to accept the MDDI as a prize? Am I going to join? How am I going to pay for it, etc.? So if there are like maybe some questions around that, it would be great if you connect with Jose once again and just have it already maybe in the back of the mind. Yes, I will be able to join. No, I will not be able to join, but of course we hope that you will be. Yeah, so in terms of judges, we have very, very amazing people and experts as a part of our jury. Here's some of them. Some of them I see they're here today as well, like Jana Kope, Kirsten. I can't see everyone, so if I forget someone, Thais, hi. Thank you so much again. And Wolf, I think, right, as well, for being our amazing judges. We're very excited to have you all. And I think everyone also that is outside of the jury should be excited, because these people will also see the project, see the submissions, and as you know, they're really experts in their own fields. So, okay, in terms of the submission teams, just very quickly. So your project should be basically falling within maximum two submission teams, right? That you will have to mark in the submission form. And these are following the Fab City full stack. I will not be going through all of them because these are all explained in detail in the application guides again. But I'm sure most of you are familiar at least a little bit with the Fab City full stack layers. So And well, I hope that if you're like part of the network, your initiatives are kind of like already aligned with that anyways. And the judging criteria, this is very, very important for the submission, because this is what we will be actually judging the projects by. So how well they're aligned with each of the different Fab City Manifesto, let's say, points, right? So we have how ecological the projects are, the best practices, how inclusive, how global, how participatory, how locally productive, how they are aligned with economic growth and employment, how life-centered they are, how holistic, and how open source. So in the application form, you will have to go through them all and highlight at least a little bit, and also show again like the measurable impact, right? How do they align with each of these points? So if you're not sure which some of them mean, for example, I don't know, like holistic, what does it mean? You can go into the application guide and read a little bit about it. They're, I believe, not too complicated, and it's quite easy to distinguish between them. But I also know that sometimes it can be a little bit complicated, you know, is this ecological, or is this, I don't know, like, let's say locally productive, right? But I wouldn't worry too much about that. Like, even if you put this and this in a different field, it's not too much of a worry. It's just about, we have the Fab City Manifesto. Is this project aligned with all of these different points in some way? Yes or no? Perfect. Right. So yeah, well, once again, I would just really love to encourage all of you who's here to apply, and not only people who are here, but also, you know, encouraging others that you know from the network that have amazing best practices to submit. It would be wonderful, because it really helps us, you know, to make the network really powerful again. And I think like all of the people who are here and who are the experts and who care about these topics, we know that only through the collaboration and through kind of like shared learning, we can really create the impact that we're trying to make, right? And so the Fab City Awards are kind of an activator for that as well, and we see it that way. So wouldn't worry about, you know, is this initiative good enough? It's really not only about that. It's basically, let's showcase what we have done in the cities, and let's see what other cities are doing as well. So, okay, just to give a short demo again, to go through the application process and the journey before we jump into questions. So I just wanted to show you basically how this process would look like. So first, I go on a Fab City website, right? Here you see already, hold on, I need to put this down. Okay, here you see that we put the Fab City Awards here in the corner so that it's nice and visible. You can open it here. You can again read about the awards. We have some, well, yeah, like 43 days left. Is that correct? I don't think that's correct. That's until the winner's announcement, right? But 15 days until the end of the applications period. So we scroll down, we will add some button up as well, and we find here apply now. So this is the submission form, this is the application guide. Ideally, I go first to the application guide so that I can learn a bit more, you know, again, what are the submission teams, what is the Fab City Manifesto, what does it look like, am I eligible, just to kind of like remind myself about that, of course, again. Once I know already, or maybe I can keep it open as well and do this, I go to apply now, which will open for me the submission form. And this is how the submission form will look like. So here I just wanted to clarify that the part one, the rest of the form will not show unless you fill up all of these 4 details, because they are very, very important. And this is basically what makes the submission eligible, right? So I also encourage you to email me a copy of my responses, because I know that sometimes we just don't remember what we have submitted, and it's kind of like nice to know that. I'm just gonna put some dummy text in here. So member locality, right? Which Fab City locality is that organization name? Is it implemented or piloted? This needs to be yes, of course, as that is an eligibility criteria. And the year. So as you see, the part 2 has revealed for me. It wasn't there before, and now I can continue in my application. The part 2 is basically about general information. So this is contact names, who is representing the submission, what is the logo, what is the organization, right? If there's if it's organization, what is the logo? What's the website, so that we can contact you. And the part 3, it's all about what I've just mentioned. This is the most important part because this is about your submission. So here, this is the category. So these are the this is basically the category of the best practice, you know. Is it service? Is it the policy? Is it the product? Is it the project? If it's something else, or if it's all of the above in some way or a combination, you can put other and then kind of like clarify for us. We have the submission teams in here. Again, we choose the ones that are most relevant, and then we continue. So in terms of the Fab City Manifesto, this is quite a bit of writing. We do realize that, but we have the limit of words, which is 250 words maximum for each of the Fab City Manifesto part, basically the judging criteria, right? So here, write a little bit about how does the best practice align with all of these. And here we also, last thing, encourage to put supporting documentation. So here it's about, you know, how can I demonstrate the measurable impact of the initiative? Maybe I have a video, maybe I have, let's say, some document that is showing the measurements that I have taken, etc., right? So we do encourage to do this. And then we would also like you to upload high quality pictures. And these are mainly for, you know, illustrating the best practice on the website later on. So this should be very engaging pictures that are not, you know, only let's say some table sheets, etc., that are demonstrating the impact, but this should be more engaging. So if it's, for example, participatory project, have I worked with the people? Of course I did. So maybe I put some pictures where which are showcasing how we were interacting with the people when we were developing this project, or how the people are interacting with it currently. And then lastly, just consent, that is basically about criteria. Right, so this would be, I think, the applicant's journey. Let me return back to here. And I think this is all from our side. So if after this there are still some questions and answers, now is the time to ask away. If there are any, that's all. Please don't bring them up.